Hello! Welcome to the very first episode of Danielle Talks Music. I'm Danielle, and I'm so excited you're here. While hosting a podcast has not always been a dream of mine, yes, you heard that right, I did fall in love with podcasting last year. You may or may not know that I am also the co-host of the podcast Post-Concert High. On that show, my friend Kelsey and I discuss our many concert adventures together. And while we do talk about music, I want to dig deeper into my love of music. Music has always been more than just something playing in the background. It's memories, comfort, happiness, healing, excitement, and sometimes it's exactly what I need to get through the day. Danielle Talks Music is a place where we'll celebrate music in every form. We'll talk about new releases, classic albums, artists, songs, documentaries, movies, TV shows, music history, and everything in between. And one of my favorite parts is that no genre is off the table. Whether you love country, pop, rock, metal, hip-hop, jazz, classical, indie, Christian, or something completely different, there's a place for you here. My earliest music memory is probably just being young, like elementary school age, and listening to my favorite albums, which were on CD then. Some even still on cassette. None of the streaming stuff yet. I also remember being at my grandma's where I spent a lot of time. She did not have a large collection of CDs, but she did have a few. One of them was Alan Jackson's Everything I Love. This album came out in 1996, and I just remember it being one of my favorite albums to listen to when I was there. But this album is like a hug for me. Little Bitty is one of my favorites of his. Buick's to the Moon just gives all the feels. And of course, Who's Cheatin' Who is fun, contradictory to its title. There is something special about music we listen to when we're young. For me, that was Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Britney Spears, Spice Girls, Hanson, and so many more. But the first artist I truly loved was Diamond Rio. My parents always listened to country music, but every time we would get in the car, I would request the Ice Cream song, aka How Your Love Makes Me Feel by Diamond Rio. I was always terrible with song names, and I'm still not that great today either, so I just called it the Ice Cream song. This song always just made me happy. It's upbeat, and the lyrics are fun, and it's just one of those songs that I really enjoyed. Plus, it is a memory of us all being together in the car, enjoying the music. Diamond Rio is definitely an underrated country band, in my opinion. One thing you'll learn about me pretty quick is that I don't believe great music belongs to just one genre. I've never understood the idea of limiting yourself to just one style of music. Every genre has something unique to offer. Rock has incredible energy. Country tells amazing stories. Pop can be fun and uplifting. Jazz is full of creativity. Classical music can be absolutely beautiful. Every genre brings something different to the table. When I discover a new artist, I love learning who they are, what inspired them, and the stories behind their music. Sometimes I'll hear one song and think, how have I never listened to this artist before? Those are some of my favorite memories as a music fan. I also think we miss out on so much when we only listen to what's familiar. Some of the best songs I've ever heard came from artists or genres I never expected to enjoy. One example for me is when Kelsey and I went to the band Camino's concert 2 years ago. They are one of my absolute favorite bands now, but I had only found them about 2 months before their concert. One of their ads popped up on my Instagram feed for their song Nostalgia, and I was immediately hooked. I am one of those concert goers that I like to be prepared. I like to know as many songs as possible. I try to find the set list. I love their music, so it was not hard for me to learn most of their songs during those 2 months. But during the show, they played only a couple of songs that I did not know. One of them was during the middle of the show where Jeffrey and Spencer let the rest of the band take a little break. They slow things down, and during that time, they played the black and white, which I had never heard before. It was such a beautiful moment, and to this day, it's one of my top concert experiences. So definitely things that are not familiar can create unexpected joy. That's one of the biggest reasons I wanted to start Danielle Talks Music. I want this to be a place where we can celebrate music without putting it into boxes. Whether you've loved a certain artist for years or you've never heard of them before, maybe together we'll discover your next favorite song, album, or artist. Because at the end of the day, music connects us. It tells stories, brings back memories, helps us through difficult times, and gives us something to celebrate. It doesn't matter what genre it is. If a song makes you feel something, then it's worth listening to. I don't want this podcast to be about telling people what they should like. I want it to be about discovering music together. Maybe I'll introduce you to an artist you've never heard before. Maybe you'll revisit an old favorite. Maybe we'll learn something new about music history. If one episode inspires you to listen to one new song, then I've accomplished my goal. I hope Danielle Talks Music becomes a place where we celebrate everything that makes music so special. Whether you've been collecting records for decades or you're just building your first playlist, you're welcome here. Before we wrap up today's episode, it's time for Danielle's Encore, my recommendation of the week. Whether it's a song, an artist, an album, or something else music fans should check out, this is my chance to share something I love and hopefully help you discover something new. This week's episode is called The Music That Made Me, so it seems only fitting for this band to be this week's recommendation. This week's Danielle's Encore is one of my favorite country bands, Diamond Rio. If you grew up listening to country music in the 90s, there's a good chance you've heard of them before. But if you haven't, I think you're in for a real treat. What I love about Diamond Rio is that they're much more than a country band with a few hit songs. They're made up of incredibly talented musicians, and one thing that has always stood out to me is their harmonies. Their vocals blend together so naturally that every song feels polished, but still feels full of heart. They also have a wonderful mix of music. Some songs are upbeat and fun, like the Ice Cream song, while others tell stories that really stay with you. That's one of the things I appreciate most about country music when it's done well. It can make you smile one minute and make you reflect the next. If you've never listened to Diamond Rio before, here are a few songs I'd recommend starting with. How Your Love Makes Me Feel, Meet in the Middle, One More Day, Beautiful Mess, Love a Little Stronger, Norma Jean Riley. Each one shows a different side of the band, whether it's their incredible musicianship, storytelling, or those signature harmonies. My personal favorite is How Your Love Makes Me Feel, like I mentioned earlier. Every time I hear it, I can't help but smile. It's upbeat, catchy, and one of those songs that instantly puts you in a good mood. It's the kind of song you want to turn up in the car and sing along, as I did a lot when I was younger. And I think it's one of the reasons I keep coming back to it. So, if you're looking for an artist to add to your playlist this week, I highly recommend giving Diamond Rio a listen to. And now I want to hear from you. What's your favorite Diamond Rio song? Or, if this is your first time listening to them, let me know which song becomes your favorite. That's this week's Danielle's Encore. I hope you found something new to add to your playlist, because discovering great music is one of the best parts of being a music fan. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. If you enjoyed this first episode, be sure to follow the podcast so you don't miss what's coming next. Until next time, keep listening, keep discovering, and keep talking music.